Hi, everybody. It is March 31st, Thursday. Just had Steve Wiley, my friend from Dino Computers, come over to the house and we set up my stuff. I am now hardwired into my internet in the house, and instead of, I ran speed test, and instead of about 45, I'm now at about 3 to 400. It's unbelievable. I touch things on here and they happen. Before, everything was just terrible because I had to deal with Wi-Fi. Even though I was meshed, it still wasn't enough. So thank you, Steve, once again for bringing me into the proper century. Good stuff. And again, I thank everybody for a great Clubhouse yesterday. For the people that still come on and go, I don't play bass, I don't know what we would talk about on your Clubhouse. Most of the talk yesterday was about cookies. Had a big long Oreo discussion, movies, life. It's an amazing bunch of people that have gathered into this Clubhouse, and we have such a great time all the time. And there's people we're going from Ireland and Scandinavia to Australia. I mean, it's all over Central America. It's a wonderful, wonderful group of people, and I'm really constantly so thrilled that this came about through COVID, and gave us a place where we could all come and hang out. So I look forward to seeing everybody again in 2 weeks, and like that. So and I'm now getting ready to run to the I'll go drive over to the CVS pharmacy. I have an appointment to go get my second booster shot. And so far, I mean, my first 2 shots and my first booster, I had any kind of really adverse effects at all. So I'm hoping it'll be the same today, since I'm getting on a plane today to fly to Las Vegas for the Grammy pre-show. But no matter what happens, I think the most dominant thing in my mind is being safe, and I'll be around a lot of people in Vegas, so I'd rather have as much in my system as I possibly can. So I'm looking forward to getting that done. And then musically, I was thinking about it because this artist, I've featured her before. I'm going to do some different music that we did, but we've been friends forever, and she ended up moving to Vegas. She's in a suburb, but I absolutely adore her. She's one of the best singers I ever worked with, and just, man, what a spirit, and lots of really good spit and vinegar in her. And that's Sheena Easton. Sheena's just incredible. I just so enjoyed every chance I ever had to work with her. I wish there was enough time when I go to Vegas to hook up, but we're going to be busting our butts for 3 solid days and then right back home again. But I might try to track her down. We'll see. But this was an album we did back in 1983 called Best Kept Secret. And I played a few songs from this a long, long time ago, but it's a really great record, and it really is indicative of that time in the early 80s. And so I thought I would just share a couple more tunes from that today, since I'm sort of feeling the connection to Vegas with Sheena today. A little info. I mean, she's got an incredible Wikipedia. So if you go to read that, you'll really get some information. She's quite a remarkable artist, but she's Scottish, and she's considered one of the most successful British female artists of the 80s. She's won 2 Grammys for Best New Artist and Best Mexican-American Performance for a duet she did with Luis Miguel. I think I did an album with Luis Miguel, too. She's had 5 gold and 1 platinum albums as of the writing of the Wikipedia page, and she's sold over 30 million albums worldwide as of whenever the Wikipedia page was last updated. She's the first and only artist in Billboard history to have a top 5 hit on each of Billboard's singles charts for pop and adult contemporary, country and adult contemporary, R&B and dance. Pretty amazing history. And there was a lot of notoriety when she did the James Bond theme for Your Eyes Only. But she's just great. So I'm going to do a couple of tunes here. And the first song I'm going to do is called Best Kept Man, which was written by Chrissy Sheffs. And it was engineered by David Leonard over at Sunset Sound Studios. And it was produced and arranged by the great Greg Matheson. We had a period where there was a group of us that were doing a lot of stuff with Trevor Veach. And so Greg did the production, produced and arranged this. It was myself and Carlos Vega on drums, Mike Landau on guitar, and Michael Boddicker and Greg Matheson on synth, and then Sheena singing. So here we go. This is Best Kept Man. So 80s, it's really great. She's got such great pipes. Sheena Easton. So here we go. What do we got here? This is a song called Sweet Talk. This was written by Jennifer Kimball, and again produced and arranged by Greg Matheson, And it's myself and the great Carlos Vega. Oh, I miss him. Paul Jackson Jr. on guitar on this one. Michael Boddicker and Greg Matheson on synth. The great Gary Herbig on saxophone. And Steve Fischel on steel on this one. So here we go. This is Sweet Talk. She's got such a great voice. But it's so perfect for that 80s period, early 80s. Bo Diddley in there.
Tell me one more time. Never know a touch like mine. Don't stop once you started. Don't leave me hungry hearted. Need you to remind me how you find it sweet. Talk. Hello, sweet talk. Tender whispers soaring like trees. Promises of love exciting. Got me up, what be my delicious. Your sweet talk is so delicious. You know that I can't help but get getting nervous. To love without service. The way with words is so delightful. I can hardly wait to get love natural. I will always remember you. To hear you speak, sweet talk. Hear me sweet, sweet talk. Tell me one more time. You never know a touch like mine. Don't stop once you started. Don't leave me hungry hearted. I need you to remind me how you find it sweet. Talk. Give me sweet. I love you, sweet talk. Give me sweet talk. I want some sweet talk. Sweet talk. I love you, sweet
It's just a great 80s thing. I really love so much that we did during that period. It was just amazing. Also, David Leonard, such a great engineer who did all this stuff. Really one of the better engineers. Here's the last song I'm going to do. It's She's in Love with Her Radio. And again, this was produced and arranged by Greg Matheson. And it was written by Mike Roth and Danny McBride. And it's myself, Carlos Vega on drums, Michael Boddicker and Greg Matheson on synth, and Gary Herbig on saxophone. So here we go. She's in Love with Her Radio.
When a favorite song comes on, ooh, it's gonna make me smile. And if you wanna go with her, don't you dare touch that dial. She says no, 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 no. She says no, 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 no. She says no, 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 no.
Yeah.
She's in love. She's in love. She's in love with the She says no, 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 no. She says no, 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 no. She's in love. She's in love.
Yeah. She's just got pipes. She is really just amazing. Last time I saw Sheena, I think, was in Covent Garden in London. We had lunch together when I was over there, and she was over there working on a show on the West End because she does everything. You know, I mean, she's a great, recording artist, but she's also a really good theatrical performer, and she's done so much. So it's really, if you're at all curious, look up her Wikipedia. Because she's really quite an accomplished artist, and I really should try to track her down when I'm in Vegas here tonight, or over the next couple of days. I'll see what's possible with our schedule. So Sheena, that's Sheena's album "Best Kept Secret" from 1983. I want to give a heartfelt shout out to Bruce Willis and his family. He was diagnosed with an incredibly terrible neurological disorder called aphasia, and has had to retire from acting and doing things just to deal with this condition he's got. I just saw it on the news, and I think night before last they were talking about it. And it's heartbreaking because this is really just a terrible disorder, and I don't think there's any coming back from it for him. And he's so young. I mean, I think he's 67. I mean, that's a young man at this point in life, and that he's having to deal with this now. And for his family, he's got young kids and stuff. So it's really heartbreaking, So my heart goes out to he and his family and his circle of people that are going to be dealing with this with him. The horrors of Ukraine continue. I don't know what the hell's going to happen over there to all these poor people. And just even if they can end this, the reconstruction is going to be so monumental, trying to bring that country back out of the Stone Age at this point. There's so many places that have been blown into oblivion for no reason whatsoever except just madness. And again, COVID ain't over. I'm off to get my second booster shot. I had to get a PCR test in order to go to Vegas, and we're going to be tested every day in Vegas. Well, we have to go to a location in the MGM Grand to get tested daily. And So let's not get complacent about this. If you haven't, at least, if you haven't gotten your shots yet, at this point, I look at it as an act of like, profound irresponsibility of how your relationship with your community is, because this isn't just about you. This is about the community we live in. And there's been enough deaths and problems with this to make it pretty obvious that you need to do something. You can't just be, blasé about it. And because you don't show maybe symptoms, it doesn't mean that you can't get other people sick if something's going on. So just try to be civic-minded about this. I'm going to get going. I'm off. I've got to get my shot in 15 minutes, so I'm going to get running now. And I'll film as much as I can in Vegas and try to put some stuff together to post here for everybody to see, some backstage stuff. And all the cats, Nate Morton on drums from The Voice, and Tim Pierce is going to be there, and George Shelby, who played sax on Phil's last tour. We spent so much time together and haven't seen each other in ages because of COVID, so this will be our first hang time, so I'm looking forward to that. And lots of stuff. So take good care, and I will see you all tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.